Today we're going to learn about how to solve multiplication word problems. We'll go through the steps together once just to learn how, and then we'll do some practice problems. The first step is to draw the multiplication diagram to help you organize your numbers. Remember, the diagram looks like this. The labels on top will change based on the problem itself, but the middle one will always talk about how many per group, or how many are in each group, and the last one will always talk about the total. So this box right here will tell you how many groups you have. This box right here will tell you how many objects are in each group, and this box tells you the total number of objects. On each of these pages there's going to be a problem in red that we'll work through together to practice these steps. So this problem says the third grade students are hosting a food drive. They have 7 boxes of food, and each box has 8 cans of fruit. How many cans of fruit did they gather? The first step is to draw the multiplication diagram. The first box tells me how many groups I have. Well, my groups are boxes of food. The second box tells me how many are in each group. That would be how many cans there are per box. And the last group tells me is the total, and what I'm looking for is the total number of cans. The second step is to look for keywords in the problem to better understand what it is saying. The keywords will tell you, or will let you know, which number is the number of packages or groups, which number tells you how many things are in each package or group, and which number is the total number of things you are counting. So on my problem, if I were trying to figure out some keywords, I could see that right here, I know that there are 7 boxes of food. This is a keyword because right here it matches up with this word, boxes. Another keyword is that it says each box has 8. That's important because that's saying how many there are per box, so that matches up here. Now what the question is asking is how many cans of fruit do they gather? I'm looking for cans here, and I can see that matches up with my final section. I need to make sure that you read the question carefully to figure out what the question is asking. Put a question mark in the box that you are trying to figure out. It says if the question asks how many packages or groups you have, then you are probably trying to figure out this first box. If the question asks you how many each package or group has, or how many per group or package, you're probably trying to figure out the second box. And if the question asks you how many total items you have, you are probably trying to figure out the third box. So in my question, it says how many cans of fruit did they gather? We saw that it matched up with this word right here, the total number of cans. I know that each box has 8 cans, so that would go in here. I want to know, the question is asking, the total number of cans. So I'm going to put my question mark in this last box right here because I'm trying to figure out what is the total number of cans I will have in this food drive. It says use keywords in the rest of the problem to figure out where the numbers go. So again, our keywords was that there are 7 boxes and that each box has 8 cans of fruit. So if there are 7 boxes, it matches up right here. I put my 7 right here. If it says that each box has 8 cans of fruit, that means that there are 8 cans per box. My 8 would go right here. And I'm still trying to find the total number of cans. It says remember the first box tells you how many groups to draw, and the second box tells you how many tallies to do in each group. So I need to make sure that I have 7 boxes, or 7 groups. Here you can see I have 7 groups. Then I need to make sure I have 8 cans in each box. So this group needs to have 8. 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 And of course this group needs to have 8. Now I need to add up the number of tallies. So I can count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. My answer is telling me that there are 56 cans of food. The last step is I have to ask myself, does that answer make sense? Reread the question to see if I'm actually answering the question. My answer is I think I need 56 cans. Let's see if that actually answers the question. My question says, how many cans of fruit did they gather? Notice how the two words match, cans of fruit and cans. And my number makes sense too. If I have 7 boxes and each box has 8 cans of fruit, that's going to be a lot of cans of fruit. 56 is a pretty big number. I feel comfortable that I did the right things. So let's do one together. It says Mrs. Ketchum is buying candy for Halloween. She bought 5 packages of Snickers. The bag said that there are 9 large candy bars per bag. How many candy bars does she buy? The first step, remember, is to draw our diagram. Notice I'm looking at total packages, how many Snickers are in each package, and the total number of Snickers. Then I had to look for the key word. I could see that packages is the key word because it matches here, and that candy bars per package is important because it matches up here. And in my question it's saying how many candy bars did she buy, so I'm trying to figure out the total number of candy bars. Next I need to really analyze that question and decide where to put my question mark. Well, the question says how many candy bars did she buy, not how many packages, and not how many Snickers are per package. So the only place I can put my question mark is right here. How many total Snickers did she buy? Then I use those keywords to match up numbers. I have 5 packages, so I put 5 packages, and 9 large candy bars per bag, so 9 Snickers per package. Then I have to draw my picture. I remember the first number tells me how many groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the second number tells me how many needs to go in each group. 9 here, 9 here, 9 here, 9 here, and 9 here. When I count them all up together, I can see that there are 45 candy bars. The last thing I do is ask myself, does that make sense? Well, my question is asking how many candy bars did she buy? I said she bought 45 candy bars. So I definitely answered the question. Now I need to say, does my number make sense? Well, I need 5 packages with 9 in each one. That's almost like 10 candy bars in a package. I know that 5 times 10 is 50, so my answer should be close to 50. 45 is very close to 50, so I know I got the correct answer. Let's try another one together. Mrs. Dieters knits mittens. She can make 3 mittens per spool of yarn. She needs to make 24 mittens. How many spools does she need to buy? Well, the first thing I need to do is draw my diagram. Here you can see I have my diagram. My package in this case is the yarn spools, because in each spool of yarn I can get more than 1 mitten. My middle section is how many mittens I can get out of each one of my packages or my spools of yarn. And my total is the number of mittens that she can make. After I have my diagram drawn, I need to look for those key words. I can see that she can make 3 mittens per spool of yarn, and I can see that she needs to make 24 mittens. My question is, how many spools or how many yarns does she need to buy? I need to analyze that question to figure out where to put my question mark. How many spools does she need to buy? How many yarns does she need to buy? Well, my yarn is right here, so my question mark is actually going to be at the beginning this time. Then I fill in the rest of my numbers. When I look at my keyword, mittens per spool of yarn, I can see that she had 3 mittens per spool of yarn. So mittens per yarn was 3. When it says she needed 24 mittens, that would be her total mittens, so I put the 24 here. Now I'm ready to start drawing my picture. You may be a little nervous with the fact that you started with the question mark. That means I don't know how many groups to draw in the very beginning. But that doesn't mean I still can't draw this picture. What I need to do now is I just need to start putting groups of 3 together to try to figure out how many groups I have until I get up to 24. So I'm going to go ahead and start with one group of 3. In this group of 3, I have 1 container of yarn. Now I need to make 24 mittens, so I need another group. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mittens. That's not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mittens. Still not enough. 10, 11, 12. Need some more. 13, 14, 15. Still more. 16, 17, 18. Getting close. 19, 20, 21. Almost there. 22, 23, 24. I finally have 24 mittens. And they're in groups of 3 because I know that in each spool of yarn I can make 3 mittens. So now all I need to do is count up how many yarns I got. Here's 1 spool, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spools of yarn. Finally, I just have to check, does my answer make sense? Well, the question was asking how many spools does she need to buy. I said 8 spools of yarn. So I know I answered the question. Now I just have to say, does it make sense? I have 8 spools of yarn, and in each one of those I can get 3 mittens. When I multiply 8 times 3, I will definitely get 24, so I know it makes sense. If I would have gotten an answer like 72 pieces of yarn, it wouldn't have made any sense at all. Because if I had 72 spools of yarn, and in each one of those I could make 3 mittens, that would have been way more than 24 mittens. So you want to make sure that your answer makes sense. Let's do one last one all together. Mrs. Sanders likes technology and is always burning activities onto CDs. She needs to make something for every child in her room, so she will need 26 CDs. She buys 2 containers of CDs and has just the right amount. How many CDs are in a container? First thing you need to do is draw that diagram. I know that I'm buying packages or containers of CDs. I'm trying to figure out how many CDs there are per package or a container. And I know the total number of CDs. After I've drawn my diagram, I go back and look for those keywords in my story. I can see that she will need 26 CDs. She's buying 2 containers. And we're trying to figure out how many CDs are in each container. I need to figure out what that question is asking. How many CDs are in a container? How many CDs are there per a container? Well, that's this middle one right here, the CDs per container. So I put my question mark here. Now I use my keywords to figure out where the rest of the numbers go. 26 CDs would be my total number of CDs. So I put the 26 here. 2 containers matches up with my keyword here, so I have 2. After I have my diagram filled out, I need to draw the picture. In this one, I remember the first box tells me how many groups I need to draw. So right here I've drawn my 2 groups, my 2 containers. Now I need to end up putting 26 CDs into these 2 containers. I'm not sure how many each CD is going to get, or each container is going to get, so I just need to start sharing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I count up my dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And my answer then is that I need 13 CDs per container. Let's see if it makes sense. My question says how many CDs are in a container. I'm answering 13 CDs are in a container. Well, at least I answered the question. Now I have to say, does it make sense? If I have 2 containers and each one has 13, that's like 13 plus 13. Well, 13 plus 13 equals 26, so I know I have the right answer. And now it's time for you to try one on your own. The question says Mrs. Medberry is buying stickers for featured reader. She buys 4 rolls, and there are 10 stickers per roll. How many stickers does she buy? The first thing you need to do is draw the diagram. Think about what are the labels on top and look back at the question for keywords. Once you have your diagram drawn, look back up at those keywords and figure out what is the question really asking. When you know what the question is asking, put a question mark in that box. Now use the keywords for the rest of the problem to figure out where the other numbers go. Now that the diagram is drawn, it's pretty easy for you to get your picture. Remember, the first box tells you how many groups, and the second box tells you how many goes in each group. The last thing you have to do is count up your tallies. always a good idea to double check if you found the right answer. So look back at that question and make sure that your answer actually answers the question, and then make sure your number makes sense as well. If you need a couple more seconds to finish this problem, push pause now so you have time to work. You can push play again when you're ready to check your answer. So here is the answer. Mrs. Medberry is buying stickers for Featured Reader. She buys 4 rolls and there are 10 stickers per roll. How many stickers did she buy? I have my diagram drawn here. I know that I'm dealing with rolls, that's the package. I'm trying to figure out, I know how many stickers are in each roll or package, and I'm trying to figure out the total number of stickers. My key words in here is that there are 4 rolls. There are 10 stickers per roll. And my question is saying, how many stickers did she buy? I'm trying to figure out the total number of stickers, so I put my question here. My 4 matches up with the keyword rolls, so I can put my 4 here. And my 10 matches up with stickers per roll, so I can put the 10 here. The first box says how many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4. The second box says how many are in each group? 10, 10, 10, and 10. When I count them all up, 10, 20, 30, 40, I get an answer of 40 stickers. I double check, does that make sense? My question says, how many stickers did she buy? My answer is 40 stickers. I know I answered the question. Now I have to think, does that make sense? Well, 4 rolls with 10 stickers in each one is a medium-sized number. 40 is a medium-sized number, so I feel pretty comfortable that I got my answer right. One last problem to do on your own. Mrs. Bricka is buying mice for the computer lab. She sees that they come in 5 per pack, and she needs 30 mice altogether. How many packs should she buy? Remember, the first step is to draw the diagram. Look back at the problem to try to figure out what are the labels that go across the top. Once you have the diagram drawn, you look at the story problem to find your keywords. Really pay attention to the question to figure out where that question mark goes in your diagram. Now use the keywords to figure out where the other numbers 5 and 30 fit into your diagram. Now that you understand how the problem works, you can go ahead and draw your picture. The last thing you have to do is count up your answer. Before you're done, you want to ask yourself, does this make sense? Did you answer the question? And is your number a reasonable one? If you need a couple more minutes to solve your problem, push pause now, and you can push play again when you're ready to check your work. Now that you're ready to check your work, we can see that Mrs. Bricka is buying mice for the mobile lab. She sees that they come in 5 per pack and she needs 30 mice altogether. How many packs should she buy? I can see that I have some keywords in the problem itself. It says that there are 5 per pack and that she needs 30 mice altogether. That means I'm dealing with the number of packs, that's my group, how many mice come per pack, and then the total number of mice. The question says how many packs should she buy, so I'm actually trying to figure out how many groups, how many packs. Then I look at my other keywords. There's 5 per pack, so here I have 5 per pack. And my total number of mice, the mice altogether, is 30, so I put my 30 here. Now I don't know how many packs to draw, but that doesn't mean I don't know how to solve this problem. What I need to do is I need to start making groups of 5 until I get all the way up to 30. So I can make one group of 5, and another group of 5, I have 10 mice. Another group of 5, 15 mice. Another group of 5, 20 mice. Another group of 5, 25 mice. And one last group of 5 would give me 30 mice. Now I just need to count how many packs that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 packs of mice. I have to ask myself, does that make sense? Well, the question asks, how many packs should she buy? I can see that I bought 6 packs, so I know I answered the question. Now I have to ask, does that make sense? Well, if I buy 6 packs of mice and each one has 5, I could count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Does that give me 30 mice altogether? Yes, it does. So I know I have the right answer. Now that you've practiced many different examples, it's time for you to see your teacher to get your next activity. Good luck!